Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. In this segment, the ladies will be narrating their various game changer stories. Stories that defined different moments that have shaped their lives, their career, and we'll each be highlighting our personal stories of resilience, determination, and achievement of what once was deemed impossible. Let the game changer begin. All right, Nima, what's your game changer story?
Okay, my game changer story will be an employer who looked out for me in a package that, they could have looked away for me. In this business, you get jobs thrown at you every time, and somebody can just decide, because you have signed the contract, not to look out for your interests. The person went further and said, what is my person getting? What is in it for my person? And that was huge for me, because I would not have seen it coming. But when I received it, I deeply appreciated it. And for me, it was huge, because subsequently, I knew to negotiate such terms clearly. You don't come with all the experience that you need. But over time, seeing people who look out for you is big, is huge for me. And so I can't even underestimate that.
That's very true, because, sometimes we go into these transactions and it seems like everybody is out for each other's interest, Amaka?
Yeah, this year so far, the creativity, in our brand was a game changer. Like when I started the show today, I told you people
you had a new collection.
I had a new collection. It's been a game changer. People love it, and yeah, we're thriving, and it's Christmas, so let's hope that the game-changing outfits and new collections they sell for the Christmas season.
No, but we're talking about resilience now. Your business has gone through a whole lot this year.
Yes.
No band to band A.
No band A, and a whole lot of things. Prices of
yes,
things,
and you were telling me in the makeup room about how expensive fabrics that you bought, and you're scared to use it now because the prices that
it doesn't relate. So the creativity that we now need to we have to think outside the box in terms of using the fabrics, and that was a game changer for my business.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, my game changer story is going to be a bit long, but I really want to use this to encourage every young girl outside, because it was a true life story. I remember some years back, about 8-9 years back, before I had my son, and somebody tried to introduce me to his friend, a godfather of mine, introduced me to his friend who was actually a divorced person. He's been divorced like 12 years. So I remember we've been talking like months and months, and this particular day he called me and he said he was so bored and like, Dami, can you come spend some time with me? I'm lonely and all of that. And I wasn't even really doing anything. So he came around, he picked me, we went to his house. So I helped him do a bit of tidy, and this was already into 10-11 o'clock at night. Wow. I helped him do a bit of tidy, and I just slept on the couch. And the man that they said, come inside now, come and sleep. I said, I didn't really feel like sleeping on the bed. That the same thing that I feel is wrong with you was also wrong with me. I'm just running through a lot of emotions, and just let me be like this. So I noticed that after an hour, he came back and he was like touching me. And I'm like, what's this?
Well, so, love.
She understands. So in the period of like 40 minutes, I got so furious that I slammed one of my small phones on the floor. And the man was like, I didn't know you were a psychopath. I said, I will leave your house now. And do you know, I left. I trekked from inside around that Chivita area. I trekked to the bus stop at 7 and 8 that night at about 1 a.m. And there was one.
Are you talking of the Chivita Isolosa?
Yes.
You trekked from that place?
From Chivita, outside. Because at the first instance when I went out, he was like, oh, sorry, I can't let you go at this time. It was already to 12. I came back inside. The same situation continued. And in my head, I'm like, this is not why I'm here. So I eventually left, and I told him, I said, as I'm going, if you call me, let me not say God will punish you. You understand? So I left. And I noticed that when I was walking, and that day, coincidentally, I had just like about 650 on me. And I just felt like, okay, my phone, ATM, I can do. But that day, as God wanted to punish devil, my phone died. So as at that 1 o'clock, the only thing I hung on was my resilience, was my perseverance, that instead of me to do this that I've said I'll not do, I'll rather walk on the street. And I remember that when I was walking on that street, one young guy, he just saw a lady on the street and he was coming close to me. And I told him, I said, if I took you, as in, I didn't know where that strength came from to talk to somebody at like 1 a.m. And guess what? I eventually got to 7 and 8 bus stop, the taxi rank, and I sat down there till 6 a.m.
Wow.
Yes, true life story. I sat down there because the taxi man couldn't pick me. I couldn't do transfer. My phone was dead. And But the whole of the emotions when I got home was that if I could take a decision, I didn't know I could take that decision. So it was a game changer for me to say, you know what, if I'm going to walk this road, I can walk alone. So no matter how long it takes, you can be on that road. And later on, light will shine. People will see your perseverance. People will see your resilience. And I think after 2 years later, the person came back begging and like, oh, can we now start a proper relationship? Like,
that's Igbo.
That's Igbo. I now told him that if I had died that night for straight 2 years, because I said you shouldn't call me and you didn't call me. So for straight 2 years, you went mute and you didn't bother. So I still had that thing in my mind, like, no, there are a lot of people that I understand that, yes, situations compel them to do things and they don't think of what could change their game or what can change their game. But that day, my game changer was just the perseverance, the resilience. And I know that if I can walk out of somebody's house at 1 a.m.
Don't try me. I can't do anything.
I can stand on my own and with God on my side. I mean, so that's my game changer.
Yeah, that's a really powerful story. Thank you for sharing it with us. Sadly, some comments on YouTube are making me, it's distracting me to hot topic level. Because someone was like, what were you expecting when you go to a man's house and you're there late?
Are you kidding me?
That's what I have to
See, we need to celebrate men that have discipline. Exactly. I have a friend that when I was squatting in my first semester and I didn't like, I was having issues with the lady I was squatting with. Like, I was a squatter, I paid though, it wasn't like it was free squatting. But the person was just always cursing. And one of the things I cannot stand in my life is someone that will be cursing. Like in the morning, you wake up, is ekpe, like ekpe lori ekpe klode. I cannot.
It never happened.
I can't stand it. So I had to look for where else. And if a male friend that we were in school together, I was in his room. He slept on the floor. I slept in the room, on his bed. And I did that throughout the semester, and nothing happened. People felt like I was in a relationship with Henry. Everybody felt like we were dating, but there was never any intimacy, not even inkling of it. Mutual respect. You can be, and we were in the same room. You can have friends. We need to celebrate men that respect themselves and not make it look like all men are dogs, that they cannot control their emotions or know how to behave as proper human beings. So that's not my game changer story, but I just wanted to put it out there. When Chloe had the nerve to comment that you helping out someone means that you are putting yourself at risk. No, let's put the blame on the person who could not control himself and did not have ability to honor and appreciate you for who you were at that time. But for me, my game changer story would be around, this real estate matter. So I got to one of our estates, went to pray there. Dr. Limide Emmanuel actually already came and he prayed and he left, but we're now trying to do content. As we're flying through and all of that, that's how bikes started coming. They were coming with bike and cutlass and knives and all of that. And someone came. One of them came and stood beside me, wrapped a really big Indian hem and was smoking it into my face and was saying, "You're not shooting anything here today." Brought out drink, I was drinking. And I have a lot of female staff. I just told them, just go to the car, don't worry. And they were like, "No, who did you buy this land from? Where did you come from?" And I was like, even my husband was shocked at the way I stood and I was looking at their face and said, "Nothing, this land I have bought. This land is my land. You cannot shift me from this place. There's nothing if you like, use chimney to be smoking. I'm not bothered by you. I'm not moving. You can't push me away from here." And that's been my story at every point in time. I've had estates where there was fights. Nima was aware of that story. We're going to police, going to task force. I got my land back 100%. Somebody came there, cleared the place, did fence. But in Nigeria, we all have, every Nigerian has a game changer story, because for you to survive and thrive in Nigeria, you will be resilient, you will fight battles. Nima is an Ijabite, you're doing law, you're doing TV, you are doing law, you're doing TV, every Nigerian have multiple stories to tell about how they've been game changers. And that's what we're celebrating on this short segment of the show. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.